Bienvenidos to Straightforward or Not, the only podcast out there, the only one, I don't know if you knew this, the only one that gives you straightforward answers. Or not. I mean, we're still figuring it out. So, the milk prices are up, the egg prices are up, and I'm just a baby. So we're here figuring it out. So on today's episode,
Before we start,
go ahead, tell them.
Please follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, and potentially Apple Music for when this comes out. We are here for you. The whole point of growing this channel is we're great at talking, we're great at presenting, but you make this show grow. You're the people that comment, you're the people that show other people,
yes.
And we build and build and build more subscriptions, more likes, more follows, more comments, gets us to that point. Yep. We're doing this because we love it, so help us grow. That's it.
Yeah, if you love it, the only way to show us is by subscribing. Listen, It doesn't cost you anything.
It's free. It's free.
Free.
Exactly.
Free.
Even Jews like it.
I have no idea what that means, but you know what? Let's go along with it. On today's episode, what are we talking about today, Gordon?
We're talking about Yeifry's story, his origin, where he came from, and how he became the person he is today.
I love that. Oh, okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Yeifry. I'm over here. Wait, what would you say? The 1/3 or the second half?
I mean, we can say 1/3. You're diminishing your status. I'll take that on every level. But the second half, the better half. The better half for today.
Always the better half today and always. So hi, Yeifry over here, and you better sit down, get some popcorn, get something that you want to snack on, because he's a straightforward guy. I'm not. I'm going to ramble and talk and talk and talk. So be prepared for a long one today.
Let's get started.
Okay, let's get started.
Where are you from? And let's get from that origin story.
Okay, got it. I love the origin story, where he comes from. So, like I said, Yeifry Cruz. I was born in the Dominican Republic, beautiful island in the Caribbean.
Proud Dominican.
Yes, proud. yes, proud Dominican. And okay, so where can we start? Okay, my mom gave birth to me. I was born, and the second I was born, let's see, what is your first?
Yes. When's your earliest memory that had an impact on your life? Because you were born in the DR, and then
you were born in the DR, and then so for me, let's start where my first memory. And even though that's my episode today, I may ask you a little bit, keep it short because it's about me. But my first memory that I think of, because you do have grainy memories that you're like, was that a dream or was that real life? But I remember, I think it was my 7th or 8th birthday.
Okay.
It was around there. And I remember some balloons and having some people over and probably taking a nap in between. But that's what I recall the most. Keep it simple, keep it sweet. What was your first memory?
My first memory that I can think of is when I was 4 years old and broke my leg skiing.
4?
4. Literally sped down a hill, couldn't stop, crashed into a fence, and just ran into a tree.
4.
I know.
And you know for sure that it was 4 years old.
100%.
Okay.
Could be 4.5, but it was no older than 4.5.
So let's start
back to you.
Back
Yeifry's episode.
Yeah, back to me.
Your 7th or 8th birthday.
You know what's the funniest thing about this podcast and everything? If we get this story out the way that I wanted, let's see if I'm able to tell it correctly. But my dream, I always have told people I always wanted to be famous. But not because of the glitz and the glamour, blah, blah, blah. I just wanted to be able to tell my story. And I felt like if I died tomorrow, but if I was able to tell my story and put it out there and be something that people can look up to or something and be like, oh my God, he got through all of that, then I can too. Then I feel like my duty in this world is done. That's always what I wanted. I always wanted just to be able to make a Netflix special or a telenovela.
So he is the Beyonce and the Kim Kardashian of the world? No. But to be honest,
Yes.
you have such a unique story that has so much passion and so many turns that
I don't know if
most
it's
people
passionate, but-
can relate or can or cannot relate. But it gives people hope, as you were saying, and it gives them that path forward. And you are that role of inspiration. You are that role model. And yes, you get to be famous, but not famous because you have a big butt or because the look.
Okay, don't come from her like that.
Yeah, I mean, he does have the looks, let's be honest. But it's more of he has the story and how resilient he was on every level.
Correct. So for me, okay, let's start. So one
Start
of
from the beginning, from the DR.
Great. Wait, I thought I was going to start from the middle, but let's try your way. Let's start the beginning. Okay, so let's see. So one of the first things that I want to say before we get into anything, in all the things that have happened in my life, I don't perceive myself as a victim in any way, shape, or form, or like a sad story. To me, it's like it's my life. It's the things that I've been through, but not in a way like boohoo me, but like, wow, I gotten through so much. And I still am here and I'm still kicking it. So there's a portion at the beginning, let's say from 0 to 13, that we're probably not going to dig so much into it. But just so your imagination knows, like every single trauma that you can think of, every single thing that can happen at home, happened to me.
Is that when you didn't have the dad?
And next week's episode, we will talk.
Or we can cut that out if you want.
No, we can keep it in. But not going to talk about it. That's him being rude. But a lot. It's that having a part into it. But I think it's just a lot of situation, a lot of trauma, a lot of different type of abuse that you can think of, and all of those things. But it has made me who I am today.
Okay.
The reason why I don't like so much to talk about it, not due to the fact of like, oh, like it's too hard for me to talk about it or anything like that. It's just sometimes, like, let's say, giving you an example.
Yeah.
You and me have a friendship, something happens, bad time, whatever. Years on, we come to an agreement. We understand where we come from, what made you make the decisions that you made that maybe were not so great for me.
Yeah.
That I feel if later on I just talk about it,
Okay.
I feel like I'm doing a disgrace to you because they're just going to take away that portion of it and just be like, oh, Gordon is an awful person. When there are so much tribulations into life, there's so many things that happen in your life. There's so many ups and downs. And sometimes it's about what you can take from it, what you can heal from it, and how you can become better from that. And if I would just tell the story directly, there's so many people that will be affected in a sense that it would just...
I'm going to play devil's advocate here.
Go ahead, play it.
You want to be this celebrity, not celebrity, but you want to be famous. And I think it's really important.
I want to tell my story and be famous for telling my story. Go ahead, continue.
But for telling your story, those are such crucial aspects. Mm-hmm. Because now people understand you on a different level and they appreciate where you've come from. And it also gives people hope that are younger that they can make it through. And even though you don't necessarily like telling it, I think it has such an impact on people. And whether it's in the US or other parts of the world where they can really benefit and you could be the inspiration for them to get out of that. And I think that's so important, even if you're not necessarily comfortable or what the intention is. How people interpret it, I think they're going to use it as a leverage of someone came from this bad situation, this stuff that's happened to them, even though they weren't comfortable telling it. But I can use this as a role model and a blueprint for me to get out of it. And I can use it as a blueprint for me to elevate to another level and become on that level. There's inspiration. There's someone that's already done it. Why can't I? And I think that's a lot of times where people miss. They don't believe someone can do it. They haven't seen someone that can do it. They haven't heard someone that can do it. And if you were that inspiration, I feel like you have the service, number one, to tell people so you can be that person.
Yeah, no, I get that for sure. And I agree with that 100%. I see a struggle in my mind a little bit from it because sometimes also when you have gone through so many things, you want to be more than your story. And sometimes there are things that happen, and there are people that will always see you for that, and not that you have outcome it, that you have become better, that you have progress from that. And I think that point in time is very complicated. It's really tricky. I have a lot of empathy for other people that have done me wrong at that time. A lot. Because a lot of people, sometimes the world is not black and white.
No.
It's just not black and white. I know we all want to see things as just being this way and that way. And it's not. Like, I can talk about like my dad and my mom and things like that. But sometimes you have empathy to know like how young were your parents? You know what I mean? Were they doing the best with what they had at that moment?
100%.
And sometimes we just like, oh, I didn't get this, I didn't get that. It's like, but you have to see all the people and where they come from too as well. Yes. So for me, I have a lot of empathy. A lot of time, it was early 90s, third world country. So I think first child, and there was a lot of things that they were figuring it out with me. So for me, that where it comes for that. So let's fast forward a little bit. So we get into 11 or 12. Let's go with 12 years old. I moved to the United States.
Okay.
Lowell, Massachusetts.
Okay.
And that to me, that was a different beast.
Okay.
A different completely. But I think everything in life teaches you something.
Yes.
And this is going to be the theme of my whole entire life, is that everything happens for a reason. Yes. Listen, it's hard for me sometimes, even currently right now, when you're like, just like, oh, why is this happening? But then when you get through it, you're like, shit, that was the reason why.
100%.
That's why I needed to go through that.
And then what happened in Lowell to give you that experience? So
for me, literally I went from being very at home environment, like, and but I don't know how to explain it. The best way I can explain it, third world country, you always, even at school, my dad at the time, but yeah, my dad dropped me off in school. So he was like the bus driver and bring me back home, and then you would just home. So you grew up in a very circle that it was very like, I wouldn't say shelter, because I was exposed to a lot of things. Yeah. But shelter, even the school that you went through, you went with a lot of the kids in the area.
Yes.
So coming here was a completely mind fuckery of it all. So it was like I started going to school about, I think I was 2 weeks in the United States.
Okay.
Once again, I was in DR. My dad was a bus driver. And then once again, so it was at home, and then I went from there, then coming over here to the United States to being like, okay, you go stand in this corner.
Yes.
And a random bus comes pick you up with a bunch of kids, it's so like, I get that everybody's watching. It's like, yeah, that's normal.
But it's a different thing.
It's different. It was a completely different beast. Didn't speak no English. I didn't know anything. It was just thrown out there. And it was, even the school system at that time was like in between time. Because before, like 2 months before I came in, they had the ESL program.
Okay.
I don't know if everybody knows what ESL is, but do you?
It's learning English.
Okay, there you go. Thank you.
As a foreigner. So as an immigrant or someone came in, you're learning English and you don't know it.
That program, that week that I came in, got taken out. So I was just thrown out there.
To the wolves.
To the wolf. And it was just such, I don't even know how to explain it to you, how it was to just being thrown out there in a different country, in a different world, transportation, finding all of the, and it was like 2 weeks into it. Yeah. Literally, it was like, here, figure out. So many things that it just like learning English. It was like things that I messed up on, because we had a homeroom, which it was the class. This was 7th grade. And all the little kids were in that room, but then we had different classes in other rooms. So all the kids knew where they were going and stuff like that. Huge school.
But you didn't.
No idea.
You're the new kid there. You don't speak English. You have no idea what you're doing. It's a different culture, different environment. And all of a sudden you find yourself into this position of, what do I do?
What do I do?
And it's not as an adult. It's as a kid.
It's as a kid.
In 7th grade. In Lowell.
Yep. So 2 funny stories so we can bring it up a little bit. So I remember my first gym class.
Okay.
So everybody goes to the gym, blah, blah, blah. I don't really recall why I was the last one in the room, but I was the last one in the room. So I leave and I tell the teacher, I was like, okay, where am I supposed to go next? Because I had a sheet in the gym. So she's like, oh, just follow her. So there was some girl, and I don't even think she knew that I was following her. So I was just going following her. Where's the gym? See, remember, she goes into the girls' locker room, and I'm just following her. And for me, I walk in and I see all the girls changing and stuff like that. I'm like, no, I don't think I'm meant to be here. I don't think that this is the right place that I'm supposed to be. And then from there, went into the homeroom again. Then my teacher took me back and one learning lesson. That was great. Another one. So
Is this when you realized you were gay?
that's a good one. That's a good one. I like that. No, I knew before that.
That's why you ran out so quickly.
Correct. I already knew. I was like, what is this? Funny, but not funny.
Substance.
So we can skip it, but funny. But to make a point of that, I didn't feel any kind of attraction to boys or anything like that until I was like 17, 18.
Whoa.
Even but I never liked the girls, but also the boys either. I was not in high school, middle school, like looking at boys like, ooh, not at all.
And why is that? Let's dig deeper into this.
I don't know because you're taking over my story. So, so I don't know. It was not like I knew it was different, but I was also not looking at the boys that way. I think everybody's sexuality is different,
Fair.
and it comes in different place and time.
Different waves.
Back to my story. So I still remember this story. I wonder how many people from my middle school are watching this. So we were in the cafeteria.
Yeah.
We were sitting down. So all the ESL kids, we were sit together.
Yeah.
And then we had a teacher who did the homeroom for us. We're sitting there. Don't ask me why. The kids were talking about sexual things.
Okay.
Right? Sexual things. The teacher comes up to the table.
Okay.
And the teacher asks, what are you guys talking about? And here I am, Yeifry, practicing my English.
Innocent.
Let's go with that. She says, what are you guys talking about? And I go, we're having oral sex. I said, we're having oral sex. Because I thought oral sex is when you talk about it. When you talk about it, we were talking about it.
And
I was having oral
you
sex.
thought you were right. I mean, at a young age.
I was so proud of my answer. They took me to the office. And they had to explain to me what was that. So, I was so proud of that answer. I was like, ooh, listen, I'm going to tell you. No, I find out oral sex is something completely different, kids. So from there on, so I actually at that time I met two of my friends, which I have talked in previous episodes. I met Jennifer, and I met Heather.
Beautiful.
Actually, Jennifer started Jennifer started the same day that I did.
Okay.
Then Heather was there already.
Okay.
So we met there. Not really the close about it. It's like we got to know each other.
So did it start off as in like you didn't really like each other, but it heads a little bit weren't friends, or was it an instant connection created?
I think at that time I was in survival mode. I think I was still figuring out what is this, what is life, what is all of the above.
Yeah.
That I feel like friendships was like, I don't know, it was a lot. There was a lot going on in my life at that time. A lot going on in my life.
What's the lot?
A lot, it was just like being an immigrant, being in a new school. What is my life? What is my new home?
Yeah.
What is this weather? What is everything that for me, a friendship was like, it was not one of the things in my mind. It was like, if I got to talk to you when we were here, great. And once again, this is like 2000s. So we were now here with cell phones and Instagram and
None
Facebook.
Of that.
So it was a different time at that time.
Okay.
Then from there, that was 8th grade. Then from there, I went to high school.
Yeah.
Which then Heather and Jennifer saw them in high school again. And then I met another one of my friends in Kelly in high school too as well. and it was good to have that sense of like, oh my God, I know somebody. You see, this is when you're allowed to like relax a little bit. You are understanding your environment a little bit more. But I have to say, like, high school was not great for me. There was so many things that made me like an outcast in a lot of ways, shape, or forms. And I think everybody goes through that in high school.
Yes.
For sure. I think any gay kid will tell you this, that there's nothing worse than when you are called a name that you fully don't understand yourself yet.
Fair.
And I feel like when you are more flamboyant and stuff like that, then the automatic thing is like to call you that name or whatever you guys, gay, whatever. That was not the word that we're using, but let's say gay. And it's like, I don't even know that myself. Like, I'm still figuring it out. I do not know what this looks like, and I'm already being called this.
Yes.
So sometimes what you do is, because you haven't figured this out yet, you try to prove them wrong. That's a lot of things that people don't talk about. Maybe this generation have it like much easier than I did, but it was that you're like, well, I don't know if I'm that, but you're being mean to me, and that, no, I'm not that.
Yeah.
And then later on, you're like, well, I am that, but you get caught up in this world. Like, I don't want to prove you right either.
I see what you're saying.
Like, I don't want to prove you right.
So at that point, it's impression. It's not necessarily, you're not thinking on, that's going to sound wrong. It's not that you're not thinking on your own, but it's the impression that you're making. And what do people perceive you as?
Correct. Because the thing, and this is, I still have this issue right now in this day, still, like when you see a kid and it's like they're 8 or 9 or whatever, and they're a little bit flamboyant or anything like that.
Yes.
I do not like, that's one of the things I hate. Don't make any comment, don't say anything, don't do anything, because the kids are still figuring out. They don't even know what that is.
Let them figure it out on their own.
Let them figure out. Don't make a comment. Don't say anything like that. Like, that's the things that like I 100% like dislike. And that. So let's move a little bit forward more. High school was a lot of challenges in a lot of ways.
Okay.
But from there on, senior year of high school.
Senior year of high school. Let's go into that.
That's when I first had my first boyfriend.
Okay.
Yeah. I still regret a lot of things out of that. I feel like I really didn't pay attention to high school the last year. Like, I feel like I could have done definitely better and really pay attention to it. But I feel like I was too busy coming into myself.
Okay.
Into my sexuality and who I am and what this looked like. Because I know since sophomore year, people are talking about dating and boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I have no idea what this is. I have no idea what this world is. Once again, early 2000s. So it was a different time too as well. So for me, I was like, okay, how can I put it?
You got to experience it for the first time.
I got to experience it for the first time. So you're a little bit more hype. You're a little bit more boy crazy. You're thinking this is your whole entire world.
Yeah.
But no. Some things are just a lesson in your life. And that one was definitely a lesson because it's just life. You learn so much. You develop so much. I feel like you early 20s and teenage years, I don't think, this is my conspiracy, but I don't think people should be dating seriously at that time. I feel like you're still growing and developing and knowing who you are.
Oh, I disagree.
Okay, tell me.
I think you should.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of relationships that the first person they meet, they marry and they last the times. Now, I don't think it's everyone, and I don't know if it's necessarily a high possibility, but I also think, as you said, it's a lesson, it's experience, it's something that you need. You need to learn from a young age, and you're more impressionable the younger you are. Right? Those lessons that you learn when you're 10 or 12 or 15 that you still remember, they still have such a great impact on your life compared to maybe something that happened when you're mid-20s or late 20s may not have the same impact.
I get that. But I feel like there's so many friends of mine that have seen that relationship for in their whole 20s, now in their 30s. And it's really hard sometimes when you're growing up with somebody, but they're kind of still holding you to the person that you were before. Because I am not the same. So if I was with somebody who knew me in my 20s and they're still holding me to the same standards, I'm not the same person.
100%.
So you have to, if you are in a relationship in your 20s, you have to find somebody who's willing to still grow and develop with you and
100%.
change and not just hold you to that person that you were at that time.
But that comes back to friendship, of not holding someone in the same place and allowing them to grow and growing with them, right? It's almost like as a tree, right? If you are preventing the tree from growing, it only gets so tall. But if you are allowing the tree to bloom and you bloom next to it, you have two amazing trees.
I can see that. Okay, let's move on.
So now back to the first boyfriend and how that impacted you.
That to me was like, it was kissing. Like, I'm only currently calling it boyfriend, just for the sake of the story. But I see that as like a test run. I see that like truly, my first, what I perceive my first boyfriend was my third one.
But here's what I want to get into. It's maybe it's not necessarily a boyfriend, but you're an immigrant coming to a new place, having this experience, figuring everything out in high school, and even beforehand a little bit in middle school. And then all of a sudden, you're necessarily coming out of the closet openly, right? And that's impact. How does that affect you? How is that perceived to the rest of the world, and how did you handle it?
So I think there was so many. Okay, so you took me back a little because I was over here in 1975. But let's go back to
the 1900s, early 1900s.
Let's get back into it. What was your question again? Will you put that in a sentence?
I will say it again in a straightforward answer.
Yes, please.
That's such an impactful part of your life, and a lot of people struggle nowadays. Very, very much so struggle. How did you handle it? And give a blueprint so people looking at this episode can use you as a role model to kind of guide themselves through it. So when you came out of the closet per se, and you were with this boyfriend, that's not a full boyfriend, but at least the first person.
There was a coming out part, and then ... exclamation point, then there was a boyfriend.
Let's do the coming out, and then let's do the boyfriend.
Okay, got it. Coming out, great. I like that. So I remember, for me, I felt like the first time that I came out, the only time that I came out.
I shoved him back in the closet a couple weeks ago. He's finally trying to break free.
I'm trying to break free again. I didn't even do it for myself. I felt like I saw my family. I saw, how can I put it? Like my uncles and stuff like that, like having kids.
Yeah.
That for me, what I did automatically was like, how if one of them is like me? So for me, I felt like that's what pushed me to be like, let me be the first one. Let me be the first one that can make this path easier for them. I can answer all the dumb questions. I can do all of those things. Because right now we're looking at it, and a lot of people are watching this. It's like, oh, what the mindset of nowadays. Like, we're talking, this is back in the days. Like, this was much, much different. Difficult. So for me, I was like, okay, I'm going to deal with all the dumb questions. I'm going to deal with all of those things right now.
Yes.
So then if one of them later on in life come out or happen to be part of the community, they will have an easier time. That was huge. The main reason why I came out that time. And it was not easy. Not easy at all. Let's just, so I don't name them, a lot of family members, a lot of things were really, really extremely ignorant with me.
Okay.
Called me a lot of names, wish me the worst thing in life, and really, really put a lot of trauma on me and a lot of things. And nowadays I'm still, I think a lot of that made me make my first not mistake, we're going to call it mistake, but this is not nice, it played a role into the next relationship that I had.
Okay.
So funny thing, when I tell my mom about it, my mom was one of the only people that she was kind to me.
Yeah.
But she didn't understand it. And I think that was the main thing, because I remember when I told my mom, the first thing that she asked me, she's like, oh my God, are you going to be a girl now? Because she didn't understand what was transgender, what was all of those things. It was just like, to her, like everything lived in the same universe.
Yeah.
So she really didn't understand. So I had to explain to her. I was like, no, I'm not trans, I'm gay. And even though that my mother loves me and everything,
yeah,
she had a different challenge, which at that time, by the time, which I'll catch up with the story afterwards. Yeah. By the time I told her, I had a boyfriend at the time.
Okay.
So no, I'm going a little bit back and forth in the story. I had a boyfriend. That was one of the main reasons why I wanted to open up, because there's a time that you know yourself, you're gay, but there's nobody in particular in your life. There's nothing. So you think of like, why am I going to blow up my whole entire life? There's nobody. There's nothing that I'm being gay with. So it's like, why am I even going to say anything? So sometimes some of us take the decision of coming out when you do meet somebody, because now it's like, well, there is this person in my life and I want them to know this part of me.
Yes.
And for me, that was one of the things. I've always been super close with my mother, but however, there were so many things that I felt I couldn't be open about.
But this is, you finally were open with.
Exactly. So I felt like even when she was asking me like what I was doing, or when she asked me about girls and stuff like that, like it built a wall. So for me, like I need to remove this wall because I want to be able to talk normally with my mother. So for me, my first relationship, what I call my real friendship relationship, that one really changed my whole entire life. Yeah. And that's that they said before and after. Yes. And that really marked everything that happens later on. Yes. Spoiler, relationships for a long time. Their sickness, strokes, coma, starting life all over again. And all of those things, if you stay tuned, you may find out the rest of it. So
we do have a really traumatic second part to this. Absolutely. Where it's almost like you had two different lives. Yeah. The one beginning that we've already said, and the other after with the coma, strokes, and a whole different starting and new beginning.
Correct. So please stay by.
Yes.
And that episode will come soon. So send us off, tell the kids where they can find us.
Yes, you can find us on Spotify, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. We'll be on there. Please share, comment, subscribe. Send this to everyone. The whole point of this is to grow, to be blueprints for other people so they can use this, so they can get out of bad situations, so they can elevate their lives to get to a place that they want to be.
Yep. Okay. And if you want a part 2, which I'm sure you do, please comment on it. Part 2. We want part 2. And I'm pretty sure the kids will let you know that they want to hear more about me. And if you don't, we will still post it. So here you go.
And that is it for today.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.